Parents had to fight a little bit to get me into elementary school. And then when I went into high school, they told me that I would either have to be in a wheelchair or walk or something like that. So now I had to learn how to walk, so I did. Basically, I can do everything that you can do, more or less. I mean, except for dressing and undressing myself. But that's about it, really, that I can't do. I went parasailing and swam with the dolphins in Mexico. Then the ultimate thrill of all this was skydiving. And that was, like I say, very, very exciting.
Fantastic.
Well, I try to enjoy life, yes.
Mike quit poker for a long time and started playing bridge, but now he plays poker more than bridge.
Yeah, Mike used to only travel with his family, but bridge taught him he could travel on his own. And after the main event, he's going to be representing the northwestern region of North America in a national bridge tournament right here in Las Vegas.
My short stacks.
Yeah, Mike was short to begin the day, but he's picked up a couple small pots, so we'll keep an eye on him. Back now to our featured table, where we have lost one of our top pros in Cloney Gowan, but here's another one. Diego Cordovez looks down at pocket fours.
Diego learned to play when he was 6 years old. His first grade teacher used poker to teach the class arithmetic.
I wish I had that teacher.
Yeah, we'd both have a bracelet.
Or at least I would.
Good for you.
Raised to 1,300. To Angelo Sargenti, 55-year-old World Series rookie with ace-queen. He re-raises it to 3,300. Action folds around the table back to Cordovez.
Diego always looks a little unhappy at the table. He's just thinking.
He calls for 2,000 more. The flop now is 4-deuce-8. A set of fours increases Cordovez's advantage.
See, he still looks like he's got a paternity suit pending.
Cordovez slow plays the set. Sargenti now with a stab at it of 2,500.
I don't blame Sargenti for firing, but he's come to a gunfight with a knife.
Cordovez raises to 6,500.
And that should be end of story.
Sargenti continues to write the chapter.
I said that should be end of story. That was an easy fold for Sargenti.
To the turn. It's an ace that pairs Sargenti, but Cordovez earns the check mark. Cordovez checks again.
Ugh.
All in.
Sargenti pushes.
I call.
Cordovez will call.
No thinking needed there from Diego.
No, and Sargenti was drawing dead, so that will be the end of his main event.
Once again, this is the most emotion you will see out of Diego.
Sargenti gone, but a key win for the man nicknamed D-Train. Cordovez began the day short stack, but he has found his groove. This Poker Pack is brought to you by FullTiltPoker.net. If you're dealt a pocket pair, the chances of flopping a set are pretty slim, so don't bet the house on it. Back at the Rio, a talented threesome still at our featured table, including the 2006 18th place finisher David Einhorn.
Cornell, man.
World Series bracelet winner from 2000, Diego Cordovez.
Stanford, man.
And the 2003 main event champion, Chris Moneymaker.
Tennessee, man.
And one of the other players joining that trio, Tommy Johansson, 29, from Sweden, on the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Cam Ace-9 offsuit.
I have no idea where he went to school. Maybe Sweden Community College.
He does raise the action with Ace-9 to 1,600. To Chris Moneymaker with Ace-Jack of Hearts.
To those who still question Moneymaker's poker skills, Chris simply says, I have validated myself to myself.
He makes the call for 1,600 on Cordovez now. Ace, queen of diamonds. The aces keep getting bigger.
Everyone with an ace. Diego in the small blind.
1,350 more. He makes the call. Anton Bergstrom, another Swedish player. 7-5 of hearts, and he'll make the call.
I think he went to Sweden Community College, too.
4 players to the flop. Flop is 8-7 deuce. Bergstrom pairs his 7 and takes the lead. Cordovez first to act. He checks. Bergstrom, pair of 7s, is the best hand, and he checks. Johansson checks as well. Chris checks behind him.
Jeez, it's like a morgue out there.
Turn card now. When the case ace hits 3 players, Cordovez, though, has the best kicker with the queen.
Ceylon, this side of the table's wearing sunglasses, so they can't even see the board. And this side of the table isn't wearing shades, so everything is clear to them.
Cordovez checks the best hand. Bergstrom checks as well. Johansson checked, and now Moneymaker is going to step to the plate, bets 3,000.
Chris thinks he has the best hand.
Cordovez with the call. He does have the best hand. Bergstrom folds. Johansson Head in hand, he folds. So heads up, Moneymaker and Cordovez.
Diego with the advantage, plus he's going to be able to see the river better than Chris.
8 on the river. The queen kicker will play. Cordovez earns the check mark. Action on Diego.
Both might be worried that the other one has an 8 or clubs in the hole.
Cordovez checks. Moneymaker can only win this by betting, but he checks as well. And Cordovez turns over the best hand.
Aces and eights with
And
a
a
jack for Chris.
tidal wave of emotion from Diego.
With aces and eights with a queen kicker.
Good hand.
Lucky today. Shoots around on the flop.
I don't know. You seem kind of skilled. You seem pretty skilled to me today.
A little above.
Well, you're not unlucky. You've been unlucky.
Diego has made a name for himself in the poker world, but it's a name he shares with his father, a well-known diplomat who you could say has a couple of notable entries in his resume.
Well, my dad spent his whole life as a diplomat, Undersecretary General of the UN, negotiated the Soviet withdrawal from Afghanistan, mediated the Iran-Iraq War, and then he was Foreign Minister and Chancellor of Ecuador. What I like is the fact that if you go to Google, since we have the same name, you know, first entry, withdrawal of Soviet troops, second entry, $300 limit hold'em tournament at the bike, third entry, peace negotiations with Colombia. That puts in perspective where the poker fits in. My father always said, go into something where you control your own destiny. Poker is something where if you have the right attributes, you can rise to the top and make a good life. And for me, poker obviously is primarily a very selfish pursuit where you don't have much positive impact on the world directly. So long ago, I just gave up on trying to rationalize it, trying to defend it. You know, I like what I do. I'm not going to change the world the way he did, and that's just my destiny.
His father negotiated the Soviet withdrawal from Afghanistan. My father once negotiated a better room rate for us from Ramada Inn.
I was Diego in Spanish class in high school and all
That's
that
interesting
stuff.
because Diego is actually James.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Just
Diego originated as a nickname for Jaime, like Bob or Robert. So that's why they're really the same name.
Interesting.
So while a couple of smart guys hash out that name thing, let's go to the outer tables. We've mentioned how strong this field is. Number of top pros who have won multiple bracelets in action, including 5-time bracelet winner Alan Cunningham. He started the day with about 49,000 chips in hand with Mirko Savoni right now. Alan throws out a bet.
Cunningham 4 cashes at this World Series, including 1 final table.
Savoni calls, and it looks like he called Alan's bluff.
Boy, you know, if he bets, you're supposed to lay it down. He's Alan Cunningham.
Alan runs into one of the many landmines the pros have to navigate in the main event. 2-time bracelet winner Jennifer Harmon started today with 63,000. Jennifer's got a couple of aces. Her opponent, ace-king, and that means the end of the day for Tarjei Forrest.
Jen has only cashed once at this World Series, but she's got twin boys to look after now, plus Marco.
Elsewhere is the 2006 Player of the Year, Jeff Madsen. He won his 2 bracelets that year, and he wins a pot there.
And remember at that 06 World Series, Jeff Madsen got 2 bracelets and 2 third places in a 3-week period.
Jeff is hijacking that battle cry from this guy, Havad Khan, who is noticeably more subdued this year after an anti-celebration rule went into effect in his honor.
Yeah, Havad Khan brought us the Havad Khan rule, and he continues to be very, very mellow.
Get some hand. You must get some hand. Raising every hand. I really do.
I had aces twice, kings, and ace-king already. You believe me? Did you believe me?
Oh, man.
No, you don't believe me? Okay.
Let's check in on 89 champ Phil Hellmuth. When we last saw him, he was being blooded.